Hi everyone, welcome back to Garden of the Moors. It's the end of the year and we're going to take a look back at the growing season to see how well we did basically. Enjoy! Well, of course, the first place to start is in February, where we created our little YouTube channel. We didn't really know what to expect or what we were doing, but it has been loads of fun doing it. We've really enjoyed sharing our garden with you all, and yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. We're taken away with it. Of course, in that time as well, we were planning what we're going to do for the year ahead. So we were collecting seeds and things like that, watching the first flowers come into flower, those snowdrops that were absolutely gorgeous. In the sort of very late winter, days. It's absolutely brilliant start to spring. Okay, so what worked well for us? I guess my favourite bits for the year were definitely the spring flowers we had. This cottage garden bed that I've got here was just brilliant with daffodils, new varieties of daffodils I hadn't grown before. Especially when they were growing with the forget-me-nots all flowing through them. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. We had a really, really good display of irises, which are one of my favourite flowers. One of the flowers that got me into gardening in the first place, actually. They're just amazing, amazing flowers, amazing form and colour to them. They did really well, and I'm hoping that with all the sun we had this summer, they'll do really well again next year. Of course, the other thing that did really well for us were our summer harvests. Absolutely delicious. I mean, that's the reason why we grow vegetables, is because they're just the tastiest you can get. The things that did really well for us were peas. So we direct sowed those into the ground in probably, I suppose about March time, just before Easter. And we were eating them throughout the year in loads of different dishes. They were just delicious. We had lots of really tasty broccoli. We had a brilliant harvest of potatoes. I was so impressed. That's our first year growing potatoes in this garden. They did so well. Same with the garlics. Probably the best garlics I've ever grown, I'd say. So really looking forward to next year's harvest as well. And we even managed to get our first ever proper winter veg. So we've grown leeks before in the past, but this year we've grown turnips and Swedes. We've got carrots in the winter, more leeks. I'm just looking down now, what else have we got? A bit of chard. It's done really, really well. So yeah, really happy with those. And of course, with those winter veg, we made not just one, we made loads of delicious pasties. They were just gorgeous. So yeah, we'll definitely be doing them again, probably throughout the winter and next year as well. We also had a few additions throughout the year. So we showed you our ducks that we raised from eggs that we bought off of eBay, of all places. They were absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, they were all boys, so we could only keep the one. Bruce Wayne, the Duck Knight, he's an absolute superstar. But yeah, really happy with them. We also got our new chickens. So we got Wendy, we got Dottie, and we got Buffy. They've settled in really well now. They've been giving us delicious eggs and they've done just brilliantly. I'm really happy with how they're settled in with the rest of the group. And of course, we also got our quails. So they've been really good. How many did we get? 5? So I think we got 1 boy and 4 girls. They were laying pretty much straight away. So we were getting eggs from them from pretty much day dot with them. And Jose, our boy quail, has been a brilliant, just what you want from a boy quail. You know, any poultry, the boys, what you want from them is to be just keeping the girls in check, making sure any scraps or squabbles. He goes in there and deals with them. He shows them where the food is. He's absolute superstar. Best boy we've had, I think, 10 out of 10. Really, really happy with him. They're inside the garage now, actually, because it's so cold out here. We've been getting minus 3, minus 4 even. So we don't need to put them through that. We've brought them inside and under a little nice heat lamp for them for the time being, until it warms up a bit again. Of course, not everything can go well. So the tomatoes really struggled. They're a bit of a disappointment because the heat wave that we had, that long, really, really hot spell of drought, just knocked them for 6. They stopped growing altogether, they stopped ripening, they just froze and didn't do anything. So we ended up not getting any tomatoes till about mid-September into October time, which is really late for greenhouse tomatoes. But lesson learned, if we get a ridiculous heat wave again, we'll bring them outside. I mean, they're already in pots, so we could have done that this year, but so that was a bit of a shame. The peppers and the chilies did do really well, so they loved the heat. So, you know, swings and roundabouts with that. The other things that struggled in the drought were the apples. I mean, they just didn't grow. So we had some fruit that were, you know, fruit set, but they just didn't swell. They stayed as little mini miniature apples like that, and then before we could have picked them, they all fell off. They just were rubbish. So hopefully, what it has meant is that the apple tree's roots will have gone further out into the ground, and it will set out some good foundations for next year. Fingers crossed. And then the last thing that didn't do particularly well this year were the strawberries. So I just think that they're really not happy in this location. They're just here at the front of the flower bed. I think it's probably a bit too well drained, a bit too rocky, and they're just not happy with it. So we're going to mix that up next year and change where we've placed them to hopefully get a better harvest of strawberries. All right, so what's next year's plans then? Well, I'm going to create a strawberry bed in front of the greenhouse, because there'll only be quite low grown plants. And what I'm going to do there is dig over the ground really well, put in some nice nutritious soil for them, so they'll be really happy, and we should hopefully get lots of good fruit from them. I'm also going to extend the raspberry bed, which is behind me. Probably keep the same variety, just because they're really happy in that location there. They're a summer fruiting variety, so that means that we won't get any additional fruit next year, just sort of the same as what we've got this year. But the following year, we will get loads more fruit, which will be really nice. The jam we made from those raspberries was absolutely incredible. It's so delicious, so we'll keep with them. And then the other plan is to extend the veg patch we have in the garden out further. So by at least a third, maybe even half again, of what we currently have. And then in there, I'll grow, I'm going to focus on growing more winter veg, because it's been really nice to have a longer season. So still keep the summer veg, but really focus on that winter season as well, to make the most out of our ground. And then up the road, where Bran's grandparents live, they also have a veg patch that we help out with. The plan will be to grow much more potatoes, much more onions and things like that up there as well, just to make the most out of the land we can use. So yeah, that would be the plan. There we are. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you again next time. Cheers! Beep, beep, beep.